Hello and welcome to Extra Innings. I am your host, Van Noland. Alongside me tonight is Owen Noland. We have a award season episode of Extra Innings. This is the week where they give out all the MLB awards. We previewed them last week on the show. We have the Silver Sluggers to announce. We have the Manager of the Year. We have the Rookie of the Year to announce. And then Cy Young and MVP will be handed out later this week. So we will talk about those obviously next week on the show. We are going to start with the Silver Slugger Awards. The awards were given out for each position. I will start with the AL awards, and then Owen will start with the NL after I'm done with the American League awards. Let's start with the catcher position. Salvador Perez took home his second Silver Slugger award. The other one was 2 years ago in 2016. He had a career-high 27 homers. He had 80 RBIs. He was actually the only AL catcher to have enough bats to qualify for the batting title. So there's not a certain number of at-bats for the Silver Slugger, I guess, but so that didn't matter for this award, but it just shows his ability to stay on the field. A lot of catchers will play about 120, 130 games. And that would be really good for a catcher. Let me see how many games Salvador Perez played in. He got 510 at-bats. Actually, he played 129 games. So that was good for a catcher, obviously, but more at-bats than any other catcher, which is really important for your starting catcher, I guess, just to show that he stays on the field. So that definitely helped out the Royals Ball Club this year. At first base, we had another second-time winner. This one was White Sox first baseman Jose Abreu. He won the award in his rookie season in 2014. This year he hit .265 with 22 home runs and 78 RBIs. He had a .325 OBP and 36 doubles, definitely deserving of the first base award in the American League. The American League Silver Slugger winner at second base was none other than Jose Altuve, winning his 5th overall Silver Slugger award. And he was injured for most of the second half of the year. Still, he hit .316, had an OPS over 800, still put up really good numbers despite the injury. He had surgery, we reported a few weeks ago, so we hope all goes well. The shortstop winner in the American League was Francisco Lindor. He is another second-time winner. He had 35 home runs, 42 doubles, and 25 stolen bases, becoming the first shortstop in Major League Baseball history to do this. He also led the Major League with 129 runs scored. At third base, it was his teammate Jose Ramirez who won the Silver Slugger award. He had 105 RBIs, 110 runs scored, 319 total bases, and 39 home runs. Jose Ramirez and Francisco Lindor are the first Indians teammates to win back-to-back Silver Slugger awards since Roberto Alomar and Manny Ramirez accomplished that feat in 1999 and 2000. The outfield, much like the Gold Glove, is just given out to the three best outfielders, not based on position, left field, center field, or right field. But the American League winners were Mookie Betts of the Boston Red Sox. He took home his second award. Mike Trout won his sixth award. And J.D. Martinez of the Red Sox won his second award as well. Now, the DH for the American League was very interesting. Stop me if you've heard this one before. J.D. Martinez.
Stop.
Yes, you have heard this one before. I just said his name for the outfield Silver Slugger Award. He also won the DH award in the American League. Martinez last won the award with the Detroit Tigers in 2015 as an outfielder. That was his first. He earned the award in the outfield. Aaron Judge got injured in the second half of the year, which opened the door for him to get into the outfield race. Not that I'm sure he would have received at least a few votes, but with Aaron Judge's injury sidelining him, J.D. Martinez got the outfield award as well. He's not the first player to receive votes at two or more different positions in one season. Jose Ramirez actually, in addition to votes at shortstop, got votes at second base and third base as well. And Javier Baez got votes at second base and shortstop on the National League side of things, although Baez did not actually win the award at either third or at either second or shortstop. And a similar situation for Oakland's Chris Davis, who got votes in the outfield and at DH but did not win the award. We will now move on to the National League Silver Slugger Awards. So I will let Owen give you those awards.
Yes, starting behind the plate, the National League winner at catcher is JT Realmuto, the Miami Marlins catcher. It was his first Silver Slugger Award. This probably won't be the last time you hear his name this offseason, as he has been linked to numerous trade rumors. With good reason, many teams are checking in on the Marlins backstop. He hit 21 home runs and had 30 doubles with a career-high 825 OPS in 2018. In the National League first baseman category, I should say, Paul Goldschmidt won the award. It was his fourth career Silver Slugger. A little bit of an up and down, I shouldn't say up and down year for Goldschmidt, but it started off really bad. On May 23rd, he was hitting just 198, but he turned it around from that point on, hitting 33 homers, 35 doubles, also adding 5 triples by the end of the year. And his 922 OPS led all first basemen in the National League. At second base, it was the Chicago Cubs' Javier Baez, who took home the award, his first career Silver Slugger Award. He made 75 starts at second and 52 at shortstop, so he could have won it I guess at either position theoretically, but he won it at second base where he played the majority of his games in 2018. He drove in 111 RBIs, which was tops in the National League, and he hit .290 with a .326 on-base percentage, a .554 slugging percentage, 34 home runs, and 40 doubles for the Cubs' second baseman Javier Baez. In the National League, it was the Colorado Rockies shortstop Trevor Story who took home his first career Silver Slugger award by hitting 37 home runs, 42 doubles, and he also stole 27 bases, so he was almost a 30-30 player, 30 home runs, 30 stolen bases. He was the first shortstop ever with a 40 double, 30 homer, and 25 stolen base season. And to cap it all off, he also drove in 108 runs for the Colorado Rockies in 2018. And at third base, it is Trevor Story's teammate Nolan Arenado taking home the award. Like Paul Goldschmidt, it was his fourth career Silver Slugger, adding to his ever-growing shelf of trophies. He's got 6 Gold Gloves, 4 Silver Sluggers. On the year, he led the National League with 38 home runs and a .935 OPS while driving in 111, which were also best among National League third basemen. In the National League, like Van explained earlier, they don't do it by position like left field, right field, center field. They just do it collectively. And the 3 runners in the National League were Christian Yelich of the Milwaukee Brewers, who put together an MVP-type season. It was his second career Silver Slugger. His last came as a member of the Miami Marlins. The next winner was David Peralta from the Arizona Diamondbacks. That was his first career Silver Slugger award. And last, but certainly not least, was Nick Markakis, who had a tremendous year helping the Atlanta Braves to the postseason. Nick Markakis, a veteran, had never been an All-Star. He earned his first All-Star bid this year. He also won his first Silver Slugger award this year playing for the Atlanta Braves. A great year for Nick Markakis, who had 14 home runs, his most since 2012, 43 doubles, his most since 2010, and a career-high slugging percentage of .440. The National League does not have a designated hitter, obviously, because they do not use one. So they do have a pitcher, and their pitcher was German Marquez of the Colorado Rockies, collecting his first career home run. Not home run. Well, he did hit his first career home run this year, that is true. But what I meant to say was his first career Silver Slugger award. He hit 300 this year, which is very good for a pitcher, in 65 plate appearances. And his one home run actually was off a position player, Daniel Descalso, in a game in which the Rockies were beating the Arizona Diamondbacks.
He hit a home run off a position player.
Yes, he did.
That's what you meant to say.
Did I not say that?
It could be interpreted a few different ways.
Wait, how did I say it?
One home run shy of was it off of a position player like.
Is that really what I said?
Yes.
Oh my.
That is okay.
Either way, German Marquez did win the Silver Slugger for a pitcher. He collected his first career Silver Slugger, and like I said, he could do it on the mound and at the plate as well. So that will conclude our Silver Slugger awards. Lots of deserving players took home Silver Slugger awards this year. We move on to the award that was announced this afternoon, to the Managers of the Year. Bob Melvin joined Elite Company by winning his third career Manager of the Year. By the way, it's worth mentioning that both Van and I were correct on this pick. Of Bob Melvin to win the Manager of the Year. And in the National League, it was Brian Snedeker, his first career manager of the year, taking the Atlanta Braves to the postseason. What both these managers accomplished this year was incredible. We talked about it a little bit last week, but the Oakland A's had the lowest payroll of any MLB team on opening day, and all Bob Melvin did was win games, leading the Oakland A's to the playoffs for the first time since 2015. Brian Snedeker, manager of the Atlanta Braves. I recall episodes in the offseason last year where we were talking about it might be a long couple of years for the Braves. They had that scandal where they had to release the prospects. They went over their international pool money that they were allotted. And it was looking like it might be more rebuilding in Atlanta. Brian Snedeker sure did turn it around quickly with young stars like Ronaldo Acuna Jr., Dansby Swanson, and lots of good young arms, Touki Toussaint on the mound. He helped turn around the Atlanta Braves, making them into a postseason contender and NL East champions. A great year for both managers, leading teams that nobody predicted would make the playoffs when the season began, leading both their respective clubs to the playoffs. So that is all the awards. Actually, Rookies of the Year.
Yes.
Rookies of
Was I right with my predictions for this as well?
You were. Let's see, you
Actually-
were right on Bob Melvin.
I know I was right on Manager of the Year, and I'm pretty sure I got Shohei Ohtani right. I don't remember if I picked Acuna Jr. right, though.
So Van just kind of gave it away right there.
Yes, Ronald Acuna Jr. was the National League Rookie of the Year.
I know I was wrong on that. I picked Gleyber Torres, I believe.
Yeah, and I think I picked. I know I picked Shohei Ohtani.
I know you picked Ohtani,
But I
this
ended up
debate last week.
I ended up ranting about Joey Wendell not being at least considered as a top 3 rookie in the American League. Because I knew the voters would, vote for the Yankees in the big market and then vote for Shohei Ohtani in the LA market. The Anaheim market, although not quite as big as Dodgers, still really big. And the start that Shohei Ohtani got off to raised a lot of eyes. And a player who both pitched and hit does deserve a lot of credit. So
It is worth mentioning that your boy Joey Wendell finished 4th in the voting.
yes, that would make sense.
He picked up 3 second-place votes and 8 third-place votes.
Okay, that's respectable.
Respectable, yes it is. Joey Wendell finished 4th. We spent a lot of time talking about him last week. In the National League,
Ronald Acuna Jr.
Ronald Acuna Jr. I believe I picked that one correctly, and I think you did as well. If I'm not mistaken, we got that right for our picks for NL Rookie of the Year.
So far, if I did get that right, if that is correct, I would be 4 for 4. I don't think
Yes.
I've ever done this good predicting anything in my life.
I don't think you have either.
My predictions for standings, division winners, wild cards, postseason were nowhere close to being this good. Not even if I was 3 or 4, they weren't that good. I don't think.
Which reminds me, we will go over that next week on the show. We will look back at our predictions at the beginning of the season and how they fared. Some interesting picks. And I must say, not to spoil anything, but I did pretty good in the National League with my picks. Again, we'll talk about that next week, so you'll have to tune into next week's show to learn about that. Meanwhile, back to the Rookies of the Year. Acuna Jr. for the Atlanta Braves won it in the National League. He had turned in a phenomenal season.
Actually, I think I'd probably pick Walker Buehler.
You definitely did pick Walker Buehler,
Yes.
now that I think about it.
I picked Walker Buehler.
To quote you, I think you said There's no way anybody could pick anybody except Walker Buehler. I think that might be a direct quote from Van Nolan last week.
I guess they did.
Yes, they did, and so did I. And I was proven correct with my pick of Acuna Jr. Juan Soto was another deserving candidate in the National League. He came up just short as well as Walker Buehler. And like I said, Ronald Acuna Jr.? Ronald Acuna Jr. took home the National League Rookie of the Year. Lots of players with bright futures ahead of them. Lots of deserving players you could make an argument for in this year's Rookie of the Year voting. I think that will wrap it up unless you want to talk about anything else.
Yeah, I don't have any news.
Next week will be the
signings.
Next week will be the end of awards season.
Yes, so
we'll talk about MVP, Cy Young. We'll also, like I said, talk about our standings predictions, how they fared. Did we do well? Did we not do well? You'll have to learn about that next week. And we will talk about some off-season rumors. Chris Bryant potentially on the move, as well as the latest on Bryce Harper, Manny Machado, and this great free agent class. Like I said, though, not a lot has been done so far. There haven't been any big moves. Once the dominoes start to fall, though, it will all happen quickly. We'll have all the coverage for you next week with the latest news and updates from around the league.
And I still want to have an episode about the minor league moves.
Yes, maybe we'll include that next
minor
week.
League teams shifting.
We can do a longer episode.
I think that could be a... I think the minor league teams could be its own episode.
It really could. That's right. You are 100% right about that.
Yes. So that will just about wrap up the show. We would like to thank you guys for listening whenever and however you have listened to this installment of Extra Innings on National Sports Radio.